welcome to the Irrelevant Podcast. I'm Nathan Jones with my co-host Alex Lewis, back for episode 21.2
Point two.
with technical difficulties on episode 21, actually.
The world is against us from being in the 1%.
Everything's working against us.
No, it's not. It's actually, I got a pretty good ball of momentum going, so I don't know what you're talking about.
We have a ball of momentum.
Speaking of which, you just fucking won over the weekend. Shut up. By the way, guys, 90-second recap for the 15 minutes you missed of the other part of this podcast.
Yeah.
Nathan went to Nashville, played in a tournament with 3 other dudes because he can hit a golf ball further than anyone else there. They happened to win. And then, he met John Daly, who likes to rage.
Yeah, that's pretty good synopsis of what happened. Yep.
So that's the quick rundown. I would say go listen to the beginning of the podcast, but we had technical difficulties for the first time ever.
Yeah. So if we...
Amazing how you can make it to the 1% of top podcasters in the fucking world with some shitty microphones, Zoom, and a computer.
These microphones are good, bro.
All right. I've invested $100 in making this podcast happen. So
solid. Well done.
Overall, I stumbled upon headphones from 19-2 that have wires and shit.
It's funny how we always come back to the wired stuff.
Maybe I should buy an actual headset. We're in the 1% club now.
I don't know that.
Anybody would like to donate a fund or send me a headset? I don't give a shit. Anything. I'm just gonna start asking for free stuff.
Send him a HyperX one.
The worst part is we were really in the middle of something interesting because fucking dispelling myths.
We were talking about different types of hypertrophy.
Well, we were talking about what happens when you gain all the mysterious weight from changing something or just starting working out or whatever the fuck it may be. Usually it's a hypertrophy program that'll do this, but you're not gaining all that muscle. Muscle's a real slow thing, and you have to provide an environment full of nutrients for that to want to happen anyways. But what does happen is you do retain more water, like you were saying, because 1 gram of carbohydrates, I believe, holds on to 3 grams of water. So a lot of the weight comes from there. Nutrient partitioning happens. You're shoving those carbohydrates into the muscles themselves, right? So is real tissue being made? Well, with sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, maybe not a whole lot. There's probably not a lot of tissues being created there. But I would think since the conjugate approach I take with myself is that I'm stimulating multiple capacities at the same time. And the stuff I did hypertrophy work on yesterday was not the same stuff I did my max effort work on. Then yes, Nathan, I think I could be maybe hypertrophying even in a deficit. All that's changing is I want to be 198 pounds and leaner, so I could still probably have more lean tissue mass, right?
Mm-hmm. So possible. You could still be transitioning from the type of tissue that, you're less fat tissue and more lean tissue, but you could still be losing weight theoretically.
Well, I've lost 13 pounds so far.
Right. So it would, you pretty much have to rule everything else out and say that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. I don't know how much, all my numbers keep going up in strength. So the nervous system's at least getting better.
Right. Well, I would say
I had to go down a size on my belt. So my waist is smaller.
I would say the musculature system, I think your muscles are getting better too if you're building.
Well, I'm definitely giving them the nutrients they need to fill up with other things to make sure that that's happening.
Yeah.
That's why I picked the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is because I wanted it to aid in the lifts or the ability to recover from the lifts.
That's probably you think that's the bigger thing that it helps aid in is the recovery aspect of that. I mean, you need those obviously you need those nutrients for when you need those outputs on your maximal effort lifts, but you still, I think
the cardio is where the recovery really comes in. I fucked my hamstrings up yesterday and my hips. I pulled the sled today because the bike just didn't cut it. This sucks. So, and the fact that I've gone so long without ever actually using my hips until now, this is something that we're going to discuss next week with our awesome guest because he made a fucking amazing point about this. When you do the movements from West Side correctly and you really start to feel the hips working, and we're not talking your ass. No, we're talking those things on the front of your legs that I've never felt until recently. And holy fuck. It's terrible. That's a different type of issue. And like I noticed where it comes into because like my deadlift with the chains lockout was a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's what it feels like almost not to be able to lock out. That's interesting.
Hmm. Yeah, that is interesting.
But some of that is like you need the hips there to work too. They need to be strong in that
They
way.
gotta be able to get you to that position to finish
Yeah,
that
it works
thing
both
off.
ways, right? Like it's the
Mm-hmm.
glutes need to get stronger, but like or like the sprinting really fucks me up. That shit's amazing how painful that is.
Hip flexors? Is your hip flexors bothering you pretty bad? Yeah.
Oh, they're sore as shit.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
and then I do hip flexor hypertrophy. Like it's a 3 second eccentric with a pause at the bottom.
Mm.
So that when I do sprint, it's not that's terrible.
Completely miserable. But a lot of people are always too focused on the hamstrings to actually work those type of hip flexors. Got to work
Well,
the
I
hip
just like
flexors too, people.
well, even like through the FRC, like it's taken a while to like now I have way more feeling in my hips than I ever have, and I'm like, holy fuck, like this is crazy. Less back pain. What
Those are the worst. Some of those are the worst, like pails and rails movements. Those hip flexion, knee extension ones, those are always fun.
yeah, that one sucks. I'm not
No,
very good at that one.
no, no, I can't turn on as many freaking muscle fibers as I need to in that one. I'm like, move. It doesn't want to move. Doesn't want to contract.
But yeah, since I didn't really get an off season prep for the next meet, I'm just doing some hypertrophy before I peak.
So you're going to compete at 198 next time or
I
208?
think I'll make it. Yeah,
Yeah. What are you at currently?
206 this morning.
And you have until November?
Mhm.
Yeah, no problem. Easy peasy.
Right. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Just got to keep pounding days away.
Pretty much.
Well, you might want to
eating less is kind of nice.
You might want to explain to people what sarcoplasm even is. Some people don't even know what sarcoplasm even is.
Oh yeah, that was the other fucking podcast. Sarcoplasm. It's the stuff that all the muscle fibers are in inside the cells.
I tell to just relate it to biology, you people that took biology in high school. It's like cytoplasm. There you go.
Kind of, yeah.
Only for muscles.
This stuff inside of the cells that is around all the fibers that have to contract, and you can either increase the size of the plasm, or the amount, or you can increase the amount of fibers. Generally speaking, if we're dumbing it down.
Yeah, but increasing those fibers is tough.
Well, it's a slow process to get them to rebuild and get bigger. Like that's not going to be most likely where your things are changing when you gain 15 pounds in 3 months or fucking 20 in 6 or whatever the hell it may be. I don't know. So I've done a protocol for 12 weeks, the exact same one twice. I've literally bulked with clean macros and I have gained a change of about an inch in most, like an inch in my legs, like a half inch in my arms. My waist went down 2 inches and I've gained 2 pounds.
That's when you went through the actual hypertrophy phase for 24 weeks.
That's a bunch of different stimuli, but yes, that's a 12-week hypertrophy block with macros just to help support those stimuli. I was able to lose inches in the midsection, gain them in the limbs and chest, and only gain 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Force feeding myself.
Yeah, you were just down in food during that phase. I remember what your macro setup looked like. I was like, that looks like hell. No, thank you. That
so
did not look fun.
Building actual tissue, like, yeah, maybe you could sustain that 8 pounds for you, but the body doesn't want to do that all the time. So I don't see that being a thing.
Why doesn't the body want to do that all the time? What are you talking about?
Because it's the hardest fucking thing to do. It's so inefficient.
From an energy level.
Absolutely 100% inefficient.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And that's why when you then switch back to something that is more energy efficient, like powerlifting, for example, from a hypertrophy thing, like making all these crazy gains because, yeah, you've gotten more nutrients now, maybe have a little more tissue possibly, or at least you have a better neural net. Like that's a thing you can work on with hypertrophy is like you can make these connections to the muscles way better. So then you have more control in the bigger movements. Mm-hmm. And I don't think people understand that part of like why accessories are so important. Right. right? Is gaining control of the muscles themselves, so you have a better. Well, like now I can feel my hips. I'm sure my squats and my deadlifts will be better,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Does that just goes back to like in what is it, intramuscular coordination, right? Intra and
Yeah,
inter
or at even a deeper level with the FRC where you're actually trying to control the joints.
at the joint. Yeah.
Like
It all
if
comes
you don't
back
have
to
good control of the joint, it's going to be real hard to load it
yeah.
well
Yeah.
and be able to move it.
It all comes back to the joints. It all
Well, I
comes
mean,
back.
that's like the inner structure, right? That's the scaffolding of a building, maybe. No, they put the building on the inside of the scaffolding.
Don't think it'd be the scaffolding.
Well, whatever fucking analogy
Just
you
be
want
the
to use.
frame. I think it'd just be the frame, right?
The foundation, right? Like if you're building a fucking pyramid and you need, you know, an outline of where the fucking thing's going to go and how it's going to be, there's got to be something on the inside supporting all that weight going up. So it's, shit in there, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call that.
Yeah.
Supporting structures. Yeah, like framing a house, I guess.
So what about people who don't think they need to strength train? What is it?
Who the fuck thinks they don't need to strength train?
Plenty of
I
people.
don't.
Plenty,
Nobody ever listening to this is going to think that. Is it? Is that a thing?
plenty of people
Really?
don't. What are you talking about? 70% of our population doesn't think that they need to strength train.
I need to get out of my bubble, I guess. Fuck me. Why wouldn't you need to strength? What?
Why do
Right.
people? Why do?
Simple biology. If your body is not attempting to grow, it's atrophying, or what I like to just tell people is like decaying. It's very similar. It's just a real slow process.
Yep. Just take some time. Just take some time.
Like the idea of maintenance. There's maintenance calories, I think. I think your body will recomposition there, but I don't think actual maintenance of anything is a real fucking thing.
You're either getting better or you're getting
Ups or
worse.
downs.
Yeah.
Well, and it's always going to ebb and flow.
Yeah, but you're always either working towards something and getting better or you're just doing nothing.
Getting passed by everybody else. That is.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But there's not many people that are, I don't think, percentage wise.
Well, maybe not. Why is that? Is that because everybody gets a trophy?
Our culture, yeah, I would say it has everything to do with our culture, but
Have
we
it too good.
well, we don't pride and prize ourselves on those things as a nation. I don't feel like
We don't give a shit about excellence anymore.
we go the other way. We're
Shame.
just like, no,
Shouldn't be good at things.
we don't
Privileged if you're
care.
good. How dare you?
We don't care if you're good at that. We don't care if you're big and strong. That's toxic. Toxic masculinity and all that BS.
Yeah, I don't even know what that's about. So
Toxic masculinity? I don't know what it's about either. It's just a catchphrase that got thrown
crazy
around.
ideology that somebody made popular on the interwebs.
Yeah. On X, on the X platform.
Maybe.
No longer Twitter anymore. That was a little
Thank
weird.
God. Twitter's weird.
Nice little change there, Elon. Nice little switcheroo.
I thought it was decent.
I guess. Nothing changed. It's just the way the app
Yeah,
looks.
it happens in waves, Nathan.
Yeah. He had to be trendy though, since Threads came out. He had to make some changes himself.
I don't think that was a trendy thing to do.
You don't think so? You don't think he did that to like catch some people's attention? Come on now.
Might be trolling a little bit, I guess.
I know he's trolling.
Because he's on there
1000%.
like asking
That's his
people what
whole
the
life.
logo should be. So
That's his
maybe
whole life.
trolling a bit. I never thought about it that way, but that is pretty funny.
His life is one big meme. What are you talking about?
His life is not one big meme.
Oh my
Can you
God.
imagine how stressful that guy's life is?
Yeah, but he's just a meme. Elon's a meme at this point. He's like Trump.
Because he's
Very
fucking
easily
so ridiculous.
memeable. Yeah.
Yes. It's crazy. Like in the most respectable way. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be inside his brain. Never going to sleep. Never turning it off. I think he said he gets like 3 hours of sleep at a time or something like that at the most.
Something about balance to be had that's, if you want to be real good, there is no such thing.
No, you just kind of have to go. I guess. I don't know. At that level.
I don't know. I'm trying to be balanced and get better, and it seems to be working so far. A little more balance seems to get me a little further.
I think it'd be hard to be balanced at that stage of life, though, with him. Be really hard.
How do you stop when you're worth billions upon billions of dollars and you're just like, we need to get to Mars? We need to get to Mars. His idea behind what he wants to do with the X thing is pretty fucking sweet.
The Vax thing? Is that what you said?
No, the X thing.
Oh, I don't know what he
It'd
wants
be like
to do.
it's a one-stop app for everything, like e-commerce, podcast, video, everything.
Yeah.
Like, no, you need 95 different apps for all this shit. No, you can just do it all in one. Like, have you seen how much he pays the ad sharing already now?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I think if you get your, like, you have to do 15 million impressions in 3 months. If you keep that average, I think you get like $1,000 a month or some shit
Pretty cool.
for
Good,
nothing. You're not
good,
doing anything.
good for all you
You're just on Twitter.
influencers. Good for all you influencers.
15 million impressions. That's a lot. What do you mean?
It's a
Influence.
lot.
You'll be part of it when the podcast gets popular.
15 million? You think we'll get to 15 million impressions a month?
Dude, we're taking over the world, Pinky.
One episode at a time. See you guys in 10 years.
Why set limits? Why would we set self-imposed ceilings?
Well, that actually is a really good way to for people to make money on platforms like this, because like Spotify has no income-based profitability. So it's just like you have to be able to market yourself in a way to find ways to get people to pay you. Whereas like if Twitter does that type of thing, then
I'm telling you, dude, he's going to change the game in some way or shape or form.
Because Spotify, you have to partner with Spotify to get paid. Like you have to be like, hey, we're
you have to let him buy your rights like Joe did.
Yep.
Now I've never listened to another episode. I will not have Spotify.
Wait, what?
When Joe Rogan switched to Spotify, I've never listened to another episode because I don't use Spotify.
Unbelievable. Get your life together.
You're unbelievable. Well, last time I tried to use Spotify, it opened my old Facebook account that I thought I deleted.
Oh.
Like, nope, not going down this road.
Oh, no.
Not doing this.
Let my people go.
Don't want to see fucking stupid high school me. Ugh.
Ugh.
Imagine how bad that is. All you people with Facebook can go back and see that version of you probably.
Or MySpace. What if we went back and visited our old MySpace profiles?
Mine would probably be sick, bro.
I'd be playing some weird song on my profile.
How cool is it that MySpace taught us how to code on accident?
Yeah, kind of actually. Mm-hmm. At a very, 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 very basic level. Yeah. But you could customize your page how you wanted to, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Put backgrounds on it, your favorite teams.
You want to talk about like the most fucked up thing ever? Your top 6, your top 8, top 12.
Dude, you can mess with people.
Dude, I remember it being like if there was a girl you liked, you like see where you ranked. If you made it in the top 8, you're like, oh shit, where am I? Like, oh, I'm number 5, and then you like bump up to like number 4. Then it's like a fight between you and your best friend. Right? You're like, oh my god. Like, talk about fucked up.
It's always easy to tell when couples were fighting too, because it was like their boyfriend or girlfriend was number 1 and they just boot them out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy.
Not anymore, bitch. Or before you could say you were dating.
You could have your playlist uploaded on there, so if like people wanted
you could
know what kind of mood you were in, you could change your
Paul
playlist.
Wall on there, still tipping on fofos, wrapped in faux vogues. Come on,
what a song!
Got the peanut butter guts.
What a song!
Houston's finest.
Like if you're going through some crap, you could just play a sad song, and everybody be like, "Oh, that poor guy." MySpace was so good. Come on, Tom.
It's still there. You know that, right? Like that. It's still a thing, but it's not.
It's not a thing.
Not a thing.
It's not.
Like,
and then Tom was everyone's friend.
Tom was everyone's friend. He's sitting at his fucking board like a dork.
All those people would put him number 1. It's like, look at Tom. He's up there, baby.
He would automatically just be number 1.
Yeah, you had to actually go out and socialize to get him out of there.
Right.
It's like, well, this sucks.
Oh, you got a MySpace?
Yeah, man, we lived in some wild times.
I will say one of the interesting things that now happens going out and meeting people, it's usually like, oh, you got an Instagram? Like, people don't exchange phone numbers.
No, they don't. Yeah, I met a lot of people over that because it was a business trip for like logistics people, and I don't obviously. Yeah, I mean they wrote it off as a business expense. It was just one big party. Let's be honest, but
no, for you too as a business trip.
I mean, I made a lot of connections, so it was kind of good.
Nice.
Yeah,
give you these new prizes.
Some big wigs.
Full prices. Nathan gets to pay full price.
Let me. I have to bait the fish. To bait the fish and set the line and get them in, but yeah, I mean some pretty big companies that make a lot of money. So, I mean, my God, we had I don't remember how much it was, $11,000 tab at the freaking Dirk Bentley place that we had to rack up in 2 hours, and it was like no problem. These people are just, they're on another level of wealth and income.
See, you finally got to see what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, it's kind of eerie. It's just like I don't know. They're just like people like that. Just give me. I don't know. I can't handle them half the time.
I mean, they're interesting, but I'll coach them up to fucking have a better life. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, God, they work hard. They talk about some of the hours and stuff they do and put in. I'm just like, no
Yeah.
thanks.
So they need training. They need a way to manage all that stress.
Yep. Yeah, they definitely do. Because you could tell once they actually were in a setting where they could let loose, it was just like all the walls fell down and they were just
All the demons were gone.
a bunch of goobers out there.
Let all the demons out.
Just have these old like dudes that are just filthy rich out there on the dance floor going nuts, just drink after drink after drink. I'm like, holy cow.
Nice. That's not conducive to a longer life. Tell you
Yeah.
what,
I was
want
just
to keep doing that. You can do it without the drinks,
yep.
but
I just wanted to
people think
protect the
I'm so
water
fucking
cooler.
weird when I go out and I'm not drinking. They're like, "You okay? What's
Yeah.
wrong with you?" Like,
Yeah,
what?
I just
I'm like,
protected the water cooler. That's what I did. That bar was pretty cool though. I mean, it was had like 4 floors to it, and every floor had like a live band playing the entire time.
pretty sweet.
Then you get to the top, and you can look out over like the city line of Nashville, and it was neat, really cool. Nashville's pretty nice. Like it's set up really well. Their downtown area, it's pretty cool.
Heard that.
It's God, it's just a freaking
Lots of
party out there.
bachelorette parties.
Oh my God,
Lots
everywhere.
of mistakes. What make
Dude, everywhere. It's like bachelorette party picture. There. You go into a bar and there's 6 bachelorette parties going
probably
on.
clean up down there. I bet. Just
Dude, it's a freaking
I need to make enough money. I just take a weekend trip every weekend in Nashville.
dude.
What
Dangerous,
are
I'm
you here
telling you.
for? I hang out here on the weekends. You know.
Yeah, it's that was on a Monday night too, and it's like, good God, we stayed up till 3 a.m. because you guys were out partying on a Monday in
Yeah,
Nashville.
there are, dude. Once you get out of the matrix, Nathan, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they have no threshold. They just party at Nashville all the time, 24/7. Just one big party. It's like Vegas, I feel like.
Like the eastern version of Vegas, probably.
Yeah.
With all the gambling,
Yeah, they don't have gambling in Tennessee. No casinos.
no prostitution either. I'm sure.
Which they like. Yeah, all the residents say they like that there's no casinos in Nashville. Keeps it clean. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yes. Whatever you do.
Like, yeah, okay, guys. But they have nice golf courses also. Really nice. Both the ones I played on were sick.
Two different ones.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Both of them were pretty sick.
Good time.
You didn't go to the Red Rocks this weekend? No Red Rocks for you?
Yep. 2 days.
You did go?
No, I didn't. I'm going this coming weekend.
Oh, okay. Who's going to be there?
Slightly stupid.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to speak into your mic there, buddy.
Been slightly stupid.
Slightly stupid. Gotcha. Nope. Don't know them.
You're right. It really cleared up a lot for you, didn't it?
Yeah, no clue. What kind of music is that?
Think of like Sublime.
Oh, okay. I could listen to that.
One
Sublime.
day's electric, next day's acoustic. So that should be interesting.
Sublime is one of a kind. They're an interesting group.
Seem like fun. Like to party.
Sublime? Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so. I don't know. I feel like there's a hidden message in all their music, and if you're not like just roasted, you can't even understand what they're saying.
Why? What?
It's just different. You know what I mean? Like their style is
Yeah,
very
because
different.
it's like a little bit of ska, a little bit of reggae, a little bit of punk.
They're good, man. Really good.
This was actually the first band that they signed to their record label.
Okay, that's cool. How many record do they have? How many other bands are on their record label?
Bradley died, so that didn't really become a thing.
But the other guys didn't take up the mantle.
No.
Sublime's on Spotify now, so that makes me happy. They weren't for
That
the
was
longest
all
time.
under Bradley owned all of that stuff originally. Yeah, that died.
Then it all just became public consumption.
I don't know. There was a big fight. And
Shocker. what you see with all the time with music artists is like one of them dies and then everything gets
Well, it's because
sold.
they were getting so fucked in the first place. They got to keep whatever little scraps they get.
Hmm. Is this true?
Oh yeah, they were getting hosed before the internet.
It's like the Britney Spears thing.
Well, we're not gonna go down that road. She might need someone to watch her. I don't know. She's fucking definitely cuckoo, and I don't know from what. Probably the Mickey Mouse Club, but who knows what happened in
Oh
that club.
God! Don't go down that freaking rabbit hole.
I'm just
Jeez.
saying. Now I'm starting to put things together. It makes me that one just made a little more sense now
That's
that
why
I thought about that.
they're all
Yeah,
just
why they're all
crazy.
fucked up?
Yeah, they're all crazy.
Yeah, because the Mickey Mouse pediddled them. Yeah, probably.
Way to go, Disney. Way to go. You family wholesome liars.
It's the perfect cover, isn't it?
Oh, they have a ton of subliminal messaging in their movies.
They also have employees that get arrested for trafficking and weird shit all the time. So it's fascinating.
No, that doesn't happen.
I mean, there's only photos of Jazine Maxwell or whatever her name is, the lady who has a list of clients that don't exist that purchase people or partake in moving people around for money, and pictures of her in Disney World in the 80s and 90s.
Hmm.
Interesting fun fact.
She was just
But
there to ride Space Mountain. What are you talking about?
yeah,
Duh.
exactly. I'm glad I did get to experience one time while being naive and in the Matrix. That was cool. It's a fun time.
Disneyland?
World.
Ugh. No thanks. I don't want to go.
I just did all of it, went balls to the wall for like a week there. And
Blech.
it was cool because I didn't have to pay for any of it. So
That'd be the only way I'd go because it would just.
fucking awesome trip that was gifted to me. So I
Oh.
appreciate that before I ever knew of any of
Yeah, their prices are absolutely
theories.
outrageous.
They're not anymore because the apocalypse happened.
What? Did you see the video? Did you see the video that lady recorded that got famous on TikTok of like spending 3 days at Disneyland or whatever, and what the grand total was? I was like, oh,
Oh,
jeez.
well, I guess if you're like, you got to buy their stupid packages. That's where you save the money.
Yeah, spending $20 on an ice cream cone and stuff like that.
Yeah, they give you packages where you can buy all that shit up front, and of course you get a discount. How it works, bro.
It's still a lot of money though. No thanks. I'm good.
Well, at one point you could literally go for it was like 4 days for $100 or something this summer. That's super cheap.
Those days are gone.
No, that was this summer.
What?
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Wow.
it's not. They're not doing that great. They've been losing money because they've gone woke. They've lost billions upon billions upon billions upon billions upon billions upon billions because nobody goes and watches their
No,
movies.
you're supposed to go woke so you can make a lot of money. Come on now.
I know that's what's pitched to these people. I completely get it. And they probably get blinded by the dollar signs and the virtuosity behind it or whatever. But, it hasn't seemed to work out for anyone so far.
It's not going well. No, you can name a list of companies. It's not really.
It's backfired.
Yeah, it hasn't been going well.
Like I know in my business, when I don't do something, I see an influx or decrease of my revenue. I go, probably shouldn't do that. Those are usually where it sets right and left boundaries for businesses. So that's dictated by the marketplace
Yeah, but
or the invisible hand for those economics majors out there.
no such thing. Remember, no such thing.
Visible hand?
No such thing.
It's totally real, bro. What do you think
Nope,
guides
nope.
the economy?
Everything's completely unbiased, and nobody has a biased opinion about anything out there in the world. I'm just gonna take that complete naivety stance and move on. Go back to the Matrix.
Matrix sucks.
Did you watch the fourth Matrix movie?
I haven't watched movies in almost like a decade.
God,
Not a
dude.
decade, but it's probably been. I've watched very few movies in the last probably 8 years.
Yeah, I regret
Maybe
ever
5
going to
years.
watch that one. I was like, you got to be kidding me. It was terrible.
They started getting pretty like I always judged it off of like how many what the hell moments or what the fuck moments did this movie have? Like once it takes it so far that I just can't believe it anymore.
Like Fast and
Right.
Furious.
Exactly. Yes. 100%.
Like the whole
And like
business
then they set
model.
a standard for it, so like you kind of expect it, right? But in the beginning, that's not how those movies started.
No, they were just street racing.
I mean, all right, in the very first one, it is complete bullshit that they're driving under the tractor trailer.
Oh
Never gonna
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
So I guess they've always had a what the fuck kind of thing to them.
But it was more believable.
I just wanted to believe it more because it was the only movie with cool cars. That's
Yeah.
why.
Well, when
That's
you're
why I wanted.
racing for pink slips, it's freaking cool out there, man. You're on the streets of LA racing a
Yeah,
quarter
but it
mile at
was
a
all about
time.
the import cars. There was only one cool car in the whole movie.
Yeah, the Dodge Charger, baby.
Yeah, that's all it was about.
Dude, that car was a ripper. That
Those
was
movies were awesome. Just watch all the stupid Japanese cars just get smoked by the cool American cars in their like glimpses of appearance.
that was like the man, that part where he stands that thing up on that last little quarter mile stretch they run. That fires you up as a kid. You're like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
You know how fucking terrifying that would be in real life. Jesus Christ.
That's what he says in the
Launch it and
movie.
you just fucking see your eyes launch to the scene like you're looking at the sky like, ooh.
Isn't that what he says in the movie? It's like that this car scares the shit out of me or something. Like he's like, I've never rode it
It
because it
would be.
scares the shit out of me. It's funny too because in the second one they do that partner race with the
Right,
two.
with the Camaro and the Challenger.
Yeah, and they're getting absolutely
Oh
smoked.
yeah, I bet if that movie hadn't been so popular, those two cars probably didn't come back to be a thing. And now they're
Yeah,
no longer a thing because
because America
it's
sucks
going to
again.
be electric,
Yeah,
allegedly.
they tried to
I
make
hope not.
the electric charger there for a long time. They were trying to make like muscle cars that still kept their sound but still ran on electric, and they couldn't
Oh,
make.
they just pipe sound into them. They do that in cars anyways.
Yeah, but they couldn't make it to where it was
Weird.
like cost
Like,
effective
just
for
make it
mass
sound
production.
better and quit making the fucking interior so good, I guess. I don't know.
I
I don't
don't
know. That
know.
Porsche I drove sounded pretty awesome.
There's not a lot
It
better
was like a
than
race car.
the sound of an American muscle car.
Oh, that's fair.
There's not a lot that beats it. Not a lot at all. Like the Ford GT400. It's like, oh boy. What?
Shit. Fords sound like shit.
Oh god, not that car. That car is
That's
dope.
lame.
That's a good movie. The one that talks about why they built that car.
Oh, the GT40?
Yeah, because the freaking Ferrari people were just whooping their ass.
Well, yeah.
Well, what was it?
Good things come from innovation or from competition, I should say. Not
Yeah,
innovation comes from competition. What I was trying to get out.
yeah.
Got
Oh,
those
the old
wires
Shelby,
crossed.
the old Shelby Ford Company.
It was just Shelby by himself.
Yeah, the Shelby
He needed
Cobra.
a power
Man.
plant.
The Shelby Cobra. Those are slick.
Pretty interesting vehicle.
Yeah.
That 427 that comes in that thing, there was 3 different versions of it that they made.
Really?
One of them was like 900 fucking horsepower.
That's just
Yeah, they
not
had the
enough.
427
It's just
by
not
itself,
enough.
and then they had 427 single overhead cam. Then they had a dual overhead cam version
Oh my
back
god.
in the 60s, which is like modern technology now, but back then was like the craziest shit ever. And they put them in the NASCARs. They had Thunderbolts. They're 64 Fairlanes. They would build them. They put all aluminum front ends on them and take the fucking radios out and seat belts and all the shit that made them heavy. And those were their NASCAR cars.
Just make them fly.
Yeah. With those 427s in them, they just fucking ripped.
See ya. There was like a Grand Prix race going on right by our hotel in Nashville. They had like a 3-day Grand Prix or something like that. Like it was like a
Formula One? No.
no, I don't think it was Formula One. It was like I think stock cars is what it was.
I want to see a Formula One race in person.
It was cool. They were on the main roads. Like they blocked off some of the main roads of the bridge that goes over Nashville and the Cumberland River, and they were ripping up that. Dude, they were loud. It was sick. It was pretty fun.
Those are awesome.
Cars are awesome, but I know jack crap about them. Like,
Oh,
very
well, we could go on for hours about them if you want. I can just.
you
fucking-
could. I can't. If my dad was sitting right here, he could go for hours and hours with you.
Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Not me. He didn't let
Fun
me
fact,
in.
everyone: I had a grandma that drag raced
Nuh-uh.
alcohol dragsters. Yeah, 8
Sick.
second cars in the 60s.
Wow. Go granny. When you have the story of a cool grandma, I think yours takes the cake then.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, that's sick.
when I think the first time my mom met her, she took her out and you know what a T bucket is? Have you ever seen a T bucket? Like a 1920s, 30s Ford, and they fucking these giant tires on it. It's basically like a really small chassis with a giant engine and this fucking fiberglass thing you sit in.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an old car without a
Yeah.
roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes they have like a retractable roof.
Hmm.
Just took her out in that and doing burnouts all over the place. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious.
That's crazy. Yeah. Dude, those people that do drag racing, that's some, you got to be a special level of crazy to do that.
Oh, I wish I could have done it.
Man.
I wanted to go to the school so you could get like turn into one of the drivers. You don't actually go to driving school, but you go to like mechanic school so you can be on the team.
Yeah.
But didn't do that clearly.
Dude, those things rip so fast.
10,000 horsepower.
So
The
fast.
fastest thing on planet Earth in 1,300 feet.
It's incredible.
Nothing faster.
Oh my god, dude. When they show those in-cam like videos of what's going on, I'm just like, no way do I want to.
You can't
do
look
that.
anywhere but straight.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Only 4 seconds though of your life, so you're done in no time.
God, that would feel crazy. That would feel so crazy.
5 G forces at launch, and then a negative 5 G forces when the chutes hit.
Just rips you back into your seat.
Well, I mean, you're strapped in there, but yeah.
Golly.
And then the funny
man.
cars, that thing's in front of you. It's sitting in your lap.
Yeah.
It's literally like they blow up in your lap
Good night.
because those things are the size of production, like the length of production vehicles.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think so. Wheelbase.
God bless. Yeah. I
Or
don't
maybe
want.
it's like a 98-inch wheelbase. I don't know. It's pretty more standard. The pro stock cars are actual factory cars that they take and gut them and turn into race cars.
Just piece them out and piece them together.
Yeah.
They just look so fragile. Like they're just so.
Well, they are a lot of them fiberglass and carbon fiber.
Yeah. I mean, when one of those wrecks happens, you're just like, how? Like, how do you survive that?
Well, the cage is really strong.
Still yet though, just gets shredded. It looks like holy
The
cow.
body does, yeah. The roll cages usually do pretty well.
Oh, it looks terrible. I'm like, oh my god.
I just would be scared of it blowing up
Yeah.
because like nitromethane is no joke.
Yeah.
Like it's so explosive and they're fucking big booms.
Mm. Yeah.
Like you're talking about something that gets like did the calculator one time. It was like it uses like 33 gallons per mile. So for every 4 passes is like 33 gallons of fuel or something.
Holy
crazy
cow.
like that.
Just pumping it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
The fastest things ever.
So how much fuel do they have to have then? Like they just pump in for a quarter mile.
You know, it's probably like a 10-gallon tank or something.
And it's all used in one little.
Oh, probably. Yeah. It's like a
Wow.
fucking fire hose when they open that throttle. In
Just
each cylinder. It's not just a
boom.
fire. It's like each cylinder is making over 1,000 horsepower.
God.
That's literally like six modern vehicles put together, or like 3 pickup trucks.
That's
put
pretty
together
nutty
in
that-
one cylinder.
Each cylinder is putting out 1,000 horsepower. Oh my god. That's terrifying.
And one of them goes, you can see a noticeable difference in the performance. Like it's just the whole car changes.
Yeah.
It'll pull the car one side or the other when the cylinders go.
Well, yeah, with that much
Craziest fucking thing ever.
raw power, and one of them
They have
doesn't
to-
work,
and
you're
then
just
they
like,
rebuild that engine in I think 75 minutes or 90 minutes. They take it, strip it all the way down, and put it all the way back together. Engine and transmission.
yeah, because it's just done.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. That's bonkers.
I think it's like $250,000 for a pass.
Wow.
What it costs you, or something crazy like that.
Is there still
Yeah,
a
you're
lot
talking
of,
about an expensive sport, dude. Racing.
well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is there any, like, is there a lot of money in that to make that
I
happen?
mean, sponsors have to pay quite a bit, I guess.
It's just not
Fucking
really,
John Force has done it for like,
oh God, forever.
he's like the 16-time champion, I think, and he's done it for like as long as I've been alive and then some. So like
Doesn't his daughter
50
race too?
40 some years. Yeah, I met his oldest daughter when she started racing. She was so hot. That was like one of the best days of my life.
This is
I'm
my
like, yes.
moment. This is my moment right here.
Then she got pregnant and never raced again. I'm like, damn it.
Ah, darn.
The youngest one fucking crushes it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole family gig. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, what else are you gonna do when you grow up without it?
Yeah, it's like your kids will, grow up to do the
Yeah, all three
dispositions
girls
of
have raced.
what the parents do. Who would have thought?
I think the youngest one is the only one that's won the championship.
It's like
She did
people
it in dragster.
people are always
She
like,
doesn't
well,
even drive a funny car.
what's Avery gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know. Probably the stuff that she's around all the time. What do you think she's gonna do? I don't. I mean, yeah, she probably is gonna have some kind of predisposition to training and playing some kind of sport. Sorry.
I'm gonna plug my computer in 1 sec.
Oh my god.
We don't need another
together.
technical difficulty.
Get your life together. Sorry for the pause, the delay, the moment of silence we're taking for Alex and his computer to be plugged back in. He's back. Oh,
Yeah.
there he is. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the
About me, bitch.
welcome to the ad break.
Ad break. Ad break. I was gonna turn this episode into an ad, and then I don't know what happened.
Oh, would you like to get your ad plugs in? Go ahead, sir.
Oh, I was gonna explain the programs that people can use on my app for free. Selling strategy, but I guess we could get into that.
You mean not all programs are the same? I can't get the same results?
I guarantee I'll give you better results than fucking 95% of the population that writes programs.
That's not a thing. I can go to the
No, it's
YMCA
absolutely a thing.
and get on the machines and get my thing done and do what I need to do.
I have people in those groups that I just started. I had one girl, she's like trying to get to a certain weight for jujitsu, and I'm like, well, you should probably eat more. She's like, what?
Is that the girl
Probably
that
eat
you
more.
post about all the time?
No, this is a new girl. I just met this girl like a
Different
week
girl?
ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
That-
And then a week later, or a few days later, let's say 6 days later, she's weighing less than she needed to for her last competition. And then had previously competed the weekend before in a different weight class, but had been eating and absolutely crushed her opponent. She's like, it felt really good. I'm like, yeah,
Maybe-
food is muy importante.
Maybe because you had energy.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, if those little tweaks can make that big of a difference to people, then yeah, I think the programs that I write could probably. Well, let's put it this way: there's 48 weeks of programming. I think you could repeat that for the rest of your life and never run into like a serious issue or plateau problem.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like making progress even on the neurological end the whole time.
Yep.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, maybe everyone needs to do that for 3 years before we get to do conjugate stuff.
Just do some it's almost like linear or block.
Nathan is no.
Well, I mean, just the way you're putting
screen on
what you're putting programs in is what I'm talking about.
No, it's still conjugate. It's fucking.
Yeah, I know the premise is conjugate. I'm saying the primary focus would change though.
Your primary focus would change.
You know what I'm talking about, you jackwagon.
I'm gonna share my screen. We'll just go through we'll go through the conditioning protocol.
Uh-oh. Look out, everyone.
Well, we don't talk about training enough, allegedly.
Now you're going to have to make me switch scenes here, and this is going to screw up the whole thing, but here we go.
Fuck you, then.
Production team on standby.
Let's get it, production team.
Ready for Alex's gimmicks.
Boom.
Oh, boy, here we go. Yikes.
What gimmicks?
Okay, we're here. We got it. What a smooth transition that was.
Was it? Nice.
Probably
We're just going to talk about what's going on here. Right?
Might want to zoom in a little.
I want to zoom in a little?
Yeah, just because it minimizes a little bit on my screen so that the people can actually see what you're talking about.
How is that?
A little bit more.
Better?
A little more. There you go.
175%?
Yeah, it looks great.
All right. So this is the free shit, right? Like you can go in and start the Lazarus protocol. All you got to do is download the app. But so the way this works is it starts with conditioning stuff or metabolic training, as I prefer to say, but I got to, keep it savvy for the people. Let's see. So metabolic benefits with a gentle touch. In this phase, we focus on a very low stress protocol that offers localized metabolic improvements. Yeah. So this is just basically telling you don't go too fucking hard.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
For all you meatheads out there, don't put as much weight as you possibly want on the bar.
Well, it's just like everybody. But so basic, you got to do cars every day. I'm going to make everybody do cars every single day People go, "Oh, I don't understand why." I go, "Well, do you brush your fucking teeth every day? Do you floss every? Well, you probably don't floss every day, but you should. Go ahead and start that. But if you're brushing your teeth, you should be flossing. And this is like what I like consider it flossing for the joints.
Hmm.
Same idea. Like
Hmm.
just do it once a day. That's all you
Yep.
got to do.
Yep.
Maybe do it more. So everyone starts by doing that once. Then we go and we do IRM. What is IRM, Nathan?
Incomplete rest method.
Thanks to N1 for
Gold star
explaining
for
these
me.
lovely, lovely things. I don't know if they came up with the name of the method or not, but I learned it from their fantastic program that you can buy through my link in the bio.
I'm just gonna go ahead and mute myself now and just let you take
No, no, no.
this.
I need you to ask the questions that normal people would ask because I don't know what normal people ask anymore.
Okay, so what do I get out of an incomplete rest method workout?
Oh, yeah. Metabolic adaptations.
What's a
So,
metabolic adaptation?
well, it's going to allow us to, transport waste and, nutrients better, mostly. It's a big thing, right? So, like, everyone starts working out and doing really all this complex shit when your body's really not even prepared to be able to sustain that complex shit for long periods of time, right? Like, there's a certain intensity you have to get to make meaningful change. And if you don't have the gas tank to make that intensity happen or recover from that intensity either, none of it's going to happen.
That's the big one I see.
So, like being sore all of the time is probably one of your first indicators you're not recovering as well as you want to.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
So we'll take local groups like your quads, your upper back, or more rear delt focus, your calves, your hip flexors, and your glutes. And you're doing sets. Reps can be anywhere from like I use 6 to 14. Keep it simple because I don't think anybody like Kaz says this. Nobody wants to do more than like fucking 15 reps probably. Like you can make people do up to 30 if you really want to.
Hmm.
That's that's your call. I mean, band work make people do that, and you get kind of a similar effect as this.
Yep.
That was the genius of Louis.
Yep.
Um,
Is that why? Is okay? Here's a question: Is that why Louis did such high repetition sets without the tempos?
yeah, because that's how you have to acquire the time.
Yep. Okay.
Like
Just
so, for
wondering.
these metabolic adaptations, we're looking for a work to rest ratio. We're not looking for how much weight can I move.
Correct. Yep.
Like how long can I sustain work? And when if we have tempos that are actually written out, this one, like a 1-0-2-1, you have to keep constant tension through that muscle the whole time. So that's costing you energy, which is what we're trying to do in the metabolic phase. Right. This is going to allow you to start putting carbohydrates into the muscles like they're supposed to be, things like that. So people that don't necessarily utilize nutrients properly, this is going to help with that because it's getting your body more sensitized to be able to do that. So we have a day that's focused around these are all the things you would normally feel in a squat, right? Your upper back, your quads, calves, hip flexors, glutes. We're just priming you for one day down the road, maybe be able to squat. In my book, I'm an asshole and make people wait a really long time. So that's what I do. So next day is a press day. So we have costal cable press, which is the larger portion of the cable chest that you would use on bench press, anterior delts, which you would use in a shoulder overhead press generally, and some of the bench press, triceps, so a pressing thing. More rear delts because I don't think you can have enough upper back. It's becoming my discovery. And incline hammer curls to get the brachialis, because when you press, it's coming down in the eccentric for the press. A lot of brachialis work. Same idea, right? Short sets, reps, difference. These, Nathan, how do these workouts feel? You've been doing these.
How do they feel?
Yeah, what do they
Um,
feel like when you're doing?
um, just like I feel like a huge pump. Like I get a big pump and my muscles feel big. I feel like a big boy. Feel
You get
large.
like, do you break a sweat and get out of breath at all?
I would say out of breath more than break a sweat probably, but yeah, I definitely like by the end of each set, if I'm doing the tempo correctly and the protocol correctly, I'm just like, dear God, I don't really want to contract my muscle anymore. I'm good.
Right. So you're reaching a form of muscle failure, but How do you feel the next day after you've failed on all these exercises?
Completely fine. You can wake up and probably do the same thing again if you really wanted to.
Yeah. So
Not going to
then,
break you down. Why is that? Is it because of the shortened position of the muscle mostly?
yeah, we could get in that if we really wanted to, but I don't think anyone gives a shit.
Arlie's listening. He might give a shit.
Harley might.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea with all of these exercises to make sure we're getting a metabolic stimulus is going to choose a resistance profile that favors a shortened bias. And if that doesn't exist, then we can use tempo bias that even more. So like I use the tempo on these to bias the concentric portion of the contraction and shorten position by using the pause. So it's like if you get anywhere near the correct tempo, you can't fuck this up.
No,
I don't think.
you can't.
Really, it's really, really hard.
Even when you do kind of mess it up a little, you can still get it. Just because of the pause.
Well, and the short rest periods.
Right.
So the way I write programs is I have to make the bullseye that we're trying to hit the size of a barn, basically. Like I gotta make sure you can drive through it with a fucking Mack truck.
Mm-hmm.
For a John Madden reference. But that way, because if I don't see most of these people, I don't know if it's going to do anything that it's supposed to because these stimuli are really, well, finicky. You could easily turn this into a super heavy fucking, I'm trying to be Ronnie Coleman today with these bodybuilder reps and sets because that's why people think, right? You just go 4 sets of 10. We're being Ronnie. Going lightweight, baby. And every single time I give this to somebody who doesn't really understand what's happening, I'm sore the next day.
Yeah, they just crush themselves.
That was wrong. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, it's too heavy. What? It's too fucking heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being people that will go heavy in the beginning when you have very little neurological coordination and the neural net for these muscle tissues is very small and doesn't light up very bright because you've not done it very often, you're going to need probably a little bit extra external stimulus to feel what's happening. As you get more and more efficient, these neural nets get brighter and brighter and they light up faster and faster. And you get fatigued much quicker. And like a new person, I can make them do 8x8. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. An experienced person is not making it to 8 sets of 8.
6x6s are usually way better for me if I really want to.
Yeah, I know. If you feel like
you give me the 12s, I'm just cool. Like, God dang it, I'm never gonna get the fucking 12.
Well, that's to make sure you keep it light.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Those are just built-in parameter. Like, but I've tried 8x8, and I can literally have used the least amount of weight I possibly can, and I can only get through 6 sets.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make it through 8 sets of 8. Fucking horror. I could when I first started doing this,
right?
And now it's like, nope, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah,
thanks for coming to the party.
Yep.
But, so, what are we doing when I'm giving someone this program? This is literally laying down the foundation of GPP, is what this is doing. But it's doing it in a 3-day protocol, actually a 4-day protocol. But oh no, what did I just do?
Oh no!
For the goodness sakes,
breaking everything.
Oh, it only moved over 1 day. Yeah. But anyways, 9-day protocol. Thanks to my friend Swede. I call him a friend. Does that count?
I don't know. Are you buddies? Are you pals?
I mean, we exchange. Oh no, this one is only 7 days. So this is a 7-day microcycle. Mm-hmm. Starting out super easy for people because I don't use 7-day microcycles, and I'm really trying to convert everybody away from it.
I've seen some pretty cool stuff from it.
Weird.
That's what I did with Bill over the last few weeks. It's been really good.
Yeah, how is Bill doing? Shout out to Bill. That's the Easter egg for this one.
Well, he crushed his bench press today. Made that look like freaking lightweight.
275.
Dude, we had a 260 was kind of the number today that I was just like, yeah, let's get him that and get him because this is the first one rep he's really done. And I was like basing it kind of off of how his brief maximal tension stuff went. And bro, just absolutely smoke shows a 275 today.
Housed it, huh?
Well, he did 255. And I was like, dude, if we put 260 on this bar, there's no different. Like, so I was like, I told Arlie, I was like, okay, put 270 on the bar, but don't tell him that we didn't put we just put 270. So we put 270 on, smoked that. And I was like, okay, we're just going to do 275 and he
Oh
smoked.
man, you didn't do 280, huh?
No, I didn't want to. I don't know, like, right? Because I didn't know what his like capacity was gonna be. But my God, he smoked 275 too, and I was like, nice job, Bill. Hell yeah.
Good job, Bill. Way to go.
But
Way to earn that spot on the board.
yeah, it's taken 8 months of kind of a lot of this stuff too. Like we did a lot of one rep or incomplete rest method in the beginning. We did a lot of systemic work in the beginning, and then
Oh, and what is that systemic work that you do, Nathan? What do you like to do?
as far as like the sleds and things like that, and we do it within their workout, their main workouts too. With like
You don't make them just do straight systemic work like I make you do.
yeah, we do at the beginning.
What do you like to do? That's what I'm asking you.
I do systemic work at the beginning, like when first people come.
What type of exercises, you fuckhead?
Squat, a squat, a press, a push, and a pull usually is what we do.
Oh, so these are not
Multi-joint,
isolated single joint movements.
multi-joint compound movements is what we use.
Ah,
And
so
then
what kind of benefits do you see of giving people those bigger movements but using this type of protocol? 'Cause we'll get into what this actually protocol is, but like, what benefits do you notice in your? Because your clients that you deal with are on the training age of 0 to 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? There's not really anybody that's higher than 3 years of training with you,
Well, I have
including
no one.
yourself.
I
when it
have no
comes to
one.
it.
Yeah, zero.
Like,
I have
right?
zero.
If we, I gave myself my 10 years, I gave that as one. I think that counts as 1 year of GPP.
Yeah,
10 years
just
that
because
I
it was.
didn't miss a fucking day
Yeah,
because I had some tolerance, right? But actual training age, I'm at like 2 too. So don't feel bad. It's okay.
oh, I'm not a baby still. Clearly, I can't even get stuff right still. So,
Well, no, you just gave into the ego, which everybody does. So
yeah.
you'll stop
I
eventually.
wanted to impress my coach. Wink, wink.
Oh, you're not going to impress me.
Yep. See, mistake. Don't worry. Don't do it for your coach, everyone.
You
Just
know
do
what
it
will
for
impress
you.
me? Following the plan.
I
That
did.
will impress me.
I followed it to the
50-pound
ends of a
increments
broken
are
back.
not part of the plan.
To the ends of a broken back.
Not a broken back. It's fine.
I
Wait
just
till you do that. I sent you the wrong video too of that thoracic extension setup. Oh man, I don't know if you saw it on my reel, but that thing's fucked.
yeah, that looked fun. It was just snapping your spine. It looked like
Oh, buddy, 200 pounds just pulling me forward.
push, push, push,
Yeah, I'm
push.
gonna have to do double blues for you probably.
Yeah, but it's gonna keep you in that thoracic extension. That's for sure.
Oh fuck yeah, it does. Yeah,
Uh,
that part of my back is like unexplored territory. Like, oh man, all these things are gonna make my deadlift go. Woo. Anyways, back to the systemic stuff. So you're using compound movements, but you're not loading them heavy, are you?
no, well, that's where everyone usually makes their first mistake when they see their program. They're like, "I'm gonna load this thing up," and I'm like, "You don't have to, and you're gonna find out real fast."
So what do you recommend for load? Because I put 20 to 40% of 1 rep max.
I think 30% is kind of the sweet spot.
Seems to be right. Like 30%
be
seems decent.
Pretty good. But
But,
even that, if you think about it, like so like Bill, for example, is doing I know his squat's probably 315 at this point off a box. We're gonna find out Friday. But even 30%, man, like it'll wreck you at at those tempos, it'll still wreck you. So I
you
tell
use the
people
same tempo that I give you for everyone else.
I change it from time to time, you know, like I'll go 2-2 sometimes, or I'll go like the 3-1. I'll kind of change it from time to time, but
I stick with the 2-2.
it's pretty good.
I'm sticking with the 2-2. 2 up, 2 down. I want constant movement. I
Yeah,
don't want any
don't let
stopping.
those-
I want you moving this
don't let
whole
the-
fucking time when we're
don't
doing
let-
systemic work.
No,
when
no
we're
bone
talking
stacking.
about systemic work, sorry, Nathan, give me 1 second here.
No bone
We're talking about
stacking.
training your liver and training your body's ability to handle stress.
Right.
What were you gonna say?
No, just that 2-2 is brutal because your bones don't get to ever stack, and so you never get freaking stop. Like no tension break there, and so you're just like, this is miserable.
Ethan, what does it feel like when you do these exercises or do these workouts wrong? What
Do them
happens?
wrong? Oh, you're gonna throw up. Like it's not even. It's not. It's not even about that. I think they should put that disclaimer in the systemic work when you read about it on N1. They're like, they should put like disclaimer if you've
I
reached
feel
the
like they
point of
talk
throwing
about it,
up.
don't they?
They might. I don't remember. They
that's-
probably do.
It's fucking terrible though, is it not?
Oh, it's brutal.
Because most of the time you won't actually, and you'll just feel so awful.
Dude, the best moments are when kids load the bar up and you have kids do it, and or you just don't say a word, and then they get to like rep 3 and they just kind of peer over at you like, oh boy, I've made a mistake. And I'm like, you're gonna have to finish that set though. Like, go ahead. And then the next day they're just like completely sore, and they're like, why am I so sore? And I'm like, because you chose too much weight. It's way too much weight. So
Oh yeah. What are we doing with this? We're doing more conditioning work, right? Like, this is like if you were to take the goal of most CrossFit workouts and put it into parameters that are easily repeatable and getting the same effect every single time, this is it. Like, this is the fucking thing that makes your body work better
yeah,
under stress and recover faster
yeah,
and do all the really cool shit that's good for your health.
yeah,
And you can still do, like, I started this one with trap bar RDLs, still a big hinging movement, right?
yeah.
Anterior delt press, overhead press, because I don't think most people can actually overhead press. I'd rather them use a bench and some dumbbells and get as far as they can get into shoulder flexion. Because the idea is I'm not going to really help people with these workouts. That's why they're free. Let's figure it out, right?
It's I like using them too, and then I like moving into like IRM work after, and then it's really easy to see kind of which needs to be brought up once they get to that intensity. Like when you start introducing some more intensive things to them, because
You'll
then
mix together the systemic and IRM stuff.
I haven't done it completely. A little bit, I guess you could say a little bit, but just like in the beginning, and like if they go through those pretty like I don't know what is it like 21 days for systemic, and then like another 21 to 20 something on IRM anyway. But like
I have 4 weeks for these people.
yeah, it's usually like 9, I think, when I look at it like that. If you do them, and then you start kind of introducing intensity to them, it's easy to see where they can't recover. Is it like the next day when they're just absolutely trashed, or is it in between their sets?
You're nice and even let, like, we're going to go through this and you're going to see how long it takes before these people get anything intense.
Oh, I know how you work, buddy. I know how you work. I'm not saying like I'm not talking about
Minimal
like
effective dose. Like, you got to keep making progress because once you stop making wins every time, what happens?
oh you just
Get fucking derailed.
yep.
Yeah, it's stupid. Anyways, back to leg press. So quad bias, knee flexion, hip flexion, right? Big tissue. So the thing with systemic work is you're trying to work as much tissue as you can. So there's a lot of ways you can do these things, which we'll get into in the next phase. That's then utilizing supersets for a similar effect instead of these individual, because these are just do your 4 sets of 10 and move on to the next exercise.
Mm-hmm.
When I started doing this, I would do them in a fucking giant set.
Oh, that was fun. I think that I don't know that
For kids that you train, though, it could be way more fun for them to have the stations to go around instead of doing all one at a time.
yeah, just the
So it kind
circuit
of
work.
depends on logistics.
I think that the one and then move on to the next is worse though. I really do.
It accumulates worse, I feel like, yes,
Yes.
because you don't get a break from that muscle group.
No, you're just
So
like
that's
oh,
what I learned. It is kind of
Yeah.
a little bit more brutal. So like it's easier to get people to go lighter this way.
that's very true. Yeah, because in theory you're technically going to get at least 2 minutes of rest before you come back to your
Right. Do you see what I'm doing to you people? I'm fucking breaking and putting these fail safes in so you can't fuck it up. Like, it's impossible.
But we'll
It's not
still
impossible.
We'll
It's
still find a way.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a will, there's a way. So with the systemic workouts, I'm only picking 8 exercises total that we're going between. So it's 2 different workouts the whole time. Right? You go from trap bar RDL to a glute bridge, both hinging, anterior delt press to a dumbbell bench press, so vertical to horizontal. Leg
I've
press
changed.
to an actual squat.
I do single leg stuff on my 3rd day.
Nathan, I haven't gotten there yet.
No, I'm just.
This is week fucking 5 of the program.
I'm just saying, man.
Week 5, you think I'm gonna be like, hey guys, single leg split squat,
No, not like the hard stuff. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna be
or like a
a
fucking
jerk about it.
rear foot elevated fucking split squat with a wedge and a trap bar? I mean, what? No.
No, I'm not gonna do that. That's just brutal. Whoa.
So lats and then upper back. So that way we're getting all of the back, and then each workout's got a little bit of core work. Everybody wants to feel like they got
Core's not
abs.
important.
It's definitely important. And then, so what happens, the progressions on these, that's something I didn't go over on the last one, is the progressions that I make on these is not necessarily weight, is going to be volume. So I will slowly work the volume up through the microcycle or mesocycle from microcycle to microcycle. And then by the end, like I did this with my nephew the other day, he's like, I think I need to go up in weight. I was like, have you not noticed you've been going up in reps every single workout? He's like, what? I was like, yeah, dude, you started at 4 sets of 10 and now you're doing 4 sets of 14 with everything. Like, when When you get done with all four of those 14, we'll go back to 10, and yeah, you'll move up 5 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, and like I did it the first, so it's like 6 weeks. It takes 5 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, somewhere in there.
I think it's 5. Yeah.
Five. And he went from moving 3,000 pounds of tonnage to 5,000 pounds of tonnage
Mm-hmm.
in that amount of time per workout.
I try to I try to explain that to people. Like when I try to show them what 2 reps can do on either side, or 4 reps can do on either side, and how much more volume you do per workout. And I just try to show them that, and they're like, "Oh, okay, well that makes more sense." Like how much more volume
Well,
you use
it's
per
the
session.
crazy thing is they don't even notice that they're doing that much more work.
Right, right. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a whole lot, but it is. It's a ton.
No, and that like if you look in the app when you do these workouts, it's going to show you the tonnage each time. And if you look at that tonnage, you're like, oh, I did do more.
Yeah,
You
significant.
rack up enough of those wins over time, like the same thing when we do max effort at whatever point that happens, which for most people is going to be never. But you get 5 pound increments. You hit 5 pounds and you go, okay, cool. Nathan.
Shh. I don't know what he's talking about, people. I don't know where he's at.
But anyway, so these just progressively get a little bit more reps. And eventually you're at 4 sets of 12. I think at the end we get to 4 sets of 14. Oh, not quite.
14's usually.
Close. Well, this is only 4 weeks. I just saw it like then it transitions to the next part of the protocol, which we'll get to. So I made it to where, you're doing the same thing for only 4 weeks, so you're not getting absolutely fucking bored.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what happens to most people is they get fucking absolutely bored. Now, so same stimuli, differences we're doing supersets. These things fucking really suck.
So it's still so for the people who don't know what the stimuli is, it's still metabolic work, like local metabolic work.
Exact same systemic work. We're still building foundation for you to be able to recover from. The coolest part about this work is it'll make you handle the rest of your life stress a million times easier.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take you from being like fucking frizzled and frazzled and pissed off all the fucking time to where you can actually like maybe have a normal conversation.
Yep.
Which everyone's gonna go, that's not me, but it probably fucking is you. Quit projecting on people.
Never.
But same idea. It's just two different workouts, but we have an incline press now, some dumbbell curls. So now we're getting into um, different muscle groups, right? So costal pecs again, medial delts is more like hypertrophy stuff with a little bit of foreshadowing for what's about to happen in the future phases. So then you have like a reverse banded hack squat, dumbbell ladder raise. Also in the app, a lot of times with these exercises, there will be substitutes that you can alternate them with. So it's not like you have to use this equipment if you don't have it. But you have a basic like I wouldn't say I picked it by muscle group. So I tried to program by how much tissue is being used in the workout instead of like I have to do like when I do my conjugate stuff, I'm not doing all bench and upper body in one day. Doing kind of a whole body workout every time, but it has different emphasis,
Mm-hmm.
which makes the stress much easier to recover from. That I found that was my biggest complaint with the conjugate stuff was those leg days fucked me up forever.
Yeah, you're just trashed. You're like, well, no wonder they need 72 hours to recover.
Yeah, well, so the stuff I'm doing right now for the meat prep, they they leave me wishing. I'm like, I just want to go home and nap. That's the only thing I want to do.
Yeah, just wrecked.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Like I'm sore today. Like, damn, I need to just keep driving up intensity, I suppose. But so you switch back between these two, and once again, going through more reps. And on this one, it's usually the exercise that's a little bit lighter is the one I'm increasing the reps on. Or no, I think I kept the reps the same and had people start increasing weight. Let's fucking just look instead of guessing. Same as last one. So yes, you'll increase the weight at some point. Nope. Oh, that's right. So the first two, you get 45 seconds rest.
Yeah,
And
rest
then
time decreases.
the second
Actually.
time, it
Mm-hmm.
decreases.
Yep.
And then on the next cycle, through, that's what we're doing. You'll add weight, and the rest times will be longer. And then they'll decrease again. And then the third time through, you'll add weight again. And the same thing. So once again, playing with weight and rest periods on this one as opposed to reps.
Mm-hmm.
right? So using different modes of progressive overload, modalities of whatever the
It
fuck you
doesn't
call it.
just have to be weight. You don't have to just progress the amount of
Notice
weight
that
on
the
the bar.
cars every day too. We're doing cars, and this is the best one. The sled walk is my preferred method of cardio. There's like 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 different other options for cardio that you get to pick. So don't fucking skip the 25 minutes of cardio because you don't have a sled.
Never.
Yeah, next. Phase 1.4. So this would be the end of the conditioning phase. It's technically sarcoplasmic hypertrophy that we were talking about, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. Metabolic post-exhaust stuff. So,
Oh, that stuff's fun. Oh.
wait. This is how I got my hamstring so fucked up yesterday.
Yeah.
The idea behind this is the first exercise would be a middle resistance profile, hopefully, as close as you can get, somewhere in there. And then the second exercise is going to have a shortened bias. First exercise, unlike the last supersets where we got a longer rest period, these are going to be very short to make it more like this is just one set. There's really no rest. The 15 seconds is like
It's
however
just
long
to
it
get
takes
to
you
your
to get
thing.
set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so really we're stressing tissue, and then we're stressing the shortened position of that tissue where all the muscles overlapping, and it's getting deprived of oxygen, and it's getting filled with blood, and all that nasty pump is happening to help make that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy occur, which is once again increasing the size of the cell that all the fibers are in, so that there's more nutrients and different things that are available to it. So this is where we're getting more into what would be the next phase, or after the Lazarus protocol, we're getting into the Titans Forge stuff, which is bodybuilding or hypertrophy. So we start with medial delts and quads, calves. So notice only one big muscle group here. The idea is you need to be going so intense on these that we're trying to drive change. Like you have to go to failure. That's just kind of the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have, once again, no compound movements, right? We switch them for things that are going to be easier for us to push to failure. Like you remember the hack squat, right, Nathan? That was really easy to fail on, wasn't
It didn't take much.
it?
It didn't take a whole lot. Whereas like a leg extension, yeah, that might take a while. If it's
A
not
little bit, but like I mean, just the
it's not
ability
properly
to drive
loaded.
intensity
Yeah.
is much easier on these setups
Yep.
than it's going to be with barbells, for example.
Yep.
And the stress is not quite as high. But you have like chest, anterior delts, triceps, glutes, adductors, hamstrings. I made these for both genders, dudes and chicks. Like everyone just needs to have a balanced body. I swear to God, if you just work out to be athletic, you'll look jacked as fuck.
Yep.
Promise.
Facts.
Pretty easy. Upper back. Right. So then the progressions on these will be these second sets where we're emphasizing more reps because we're trying to get more of that metabolic effect. So there'll be more time under tension in that shortened position to drive more of that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, hopefully. So now we've built 3 weeks, not 3 weeks, what is that, 12 weeks of conditioning foundation so that when we come in here to drive hypertrophy, we actually can supply the muscles with some nutrients and we can actually remove some waste and we can actually do some of these supersets, right? And we progress from really, really easy individual single joint stuff to more complex movements to then introducing supersets. And now the supersets are getting more specific with what we're actually trying to acquire with them, which then goes to bodybuilding, which I don't think anybody understands how much fucking planning and anything bodybuilding takes. They're like, oh yeah, just lift heavy and you eat big. That's how it works, right? You just got to eat food. Like I just got to be in a surplus, and the nutrition part is fucking.
That's
Shit.
the worst part. Yeah.
This whole cutting thing is blowing my mind. I thought I had an idea or grasp on. I don't fucking know shit. Like, like I got a decent idea, but fuck me, dude. It's amazing how much fat you can consume and still lose body fat.
Mm.
So it's not all about just cutting everything out. So the first phase for the hypertrophy stuff, which is the Titans Forge things. Ironically, these are what the groups are going through right now. So the groups will go through all these basic ones, and then I'll make them special ones each month if you ever decide to join the groups. What we have going on here is similar, still post exhaust, but this time we're trying to create mechanical damage. What have I made you do any mechanical damage stuff, Nathan?
No, I don't think
Well,
that
you
I would.
did at the seminar.
Yeah, but I don't think in my own training I would be equipped to do that correctly. I just don't have the lifestyle that would allow me to do that
Well, why is that?
currently.
Because mechanical damage means what?
You're actually breaking down the tissue and the fiber.
In what position do you think they would be focusing on?
Lengthened position mostly.
And what do all those studies that have been coming out recently been saying about lengthened position work? Have you seen any of that?
I don't know that I've seen any of that, but I would love to listen.
Allegedly, it's the bee's knees for hypertrophy.
Well, yeah, but we've known that for a long time.
Anecdotally.
But it's in super training. What are we talking about?
Anecdotally, I doubt he had a study about it.
No, but I mean, come on now. Like, what? It makes sense.
Anecdotally, Nathan, we can't listen to the South African.
Dude, if you literally look at how the fiber stretches in the lengthened position, it would make more sense. Like, duh.
Well, they didn't know Titan fibers were a thing until recently, so let's settle down, okay?
Well, but
that I think is where the mechanical damage is really happening in these workouts.
Yeah.
Good segue. Nice job. Once again, we're doing that middle position for the first part of the superset. The second part is fully working on lengthened position. Like this neutral grip pull down, if you do it correctly. Do you have a pull down machine, Nathan? Have I made you do this since you got it?
Yeah, I have the handles for it. Mm-hmm.
Well, you can use any handle. That V grip is perfectly fine. It's just you got to round and get those lats in that nasty stretch position.
Yep.
It sucks. Yeah. Pretty good for. It's not technically a lengthen bias, but we'll pause there. We'll get a better stretch there. It's going to give you more than 90% of setups will.
These are the ones that suck right here.
The lengthen overload thing that works amazingly for lats, actually. Biceps.
Those suck.
You start with some low pulley curls, so nice shortened position. So what sucks about this is you're taking away all that nutrients right away. Then you're getting yourself in a position where you have no mechanical advantage to help. And it's just like, what does failure feel like in the lengthened position, Nathan?
Awful. Burns.
It's like nothing happens,
Stings.
right? Like it hurts. Like you feel
nothing
it
moves.
You apart, but nothing happens, right? It just stops.
It's like, cool, buddy. Good try.
So once again, just 3 supersets. Nathan, how many exercises do you program for an exercise or a workout normally?
Anywhere from 4 to 6.
4 to 6. So keep it simple, folks. You don't have to do a lot of work, especially if you're in this GPP phase that we're in.
It's more about density at that point.
Well, even then, if they're not quality reps, Jan Blakely was talking about that, there's shit. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, why are you doing a million? Yeah.
So the main focus on that day is lats. The main focus on this day is quads. You got medial delt, calves. Cool thing is, guys, when you're doing like quads with your shoulders and your calves, they're going to grow even more because of the G8 or the growth hormone response you get from quads is going to make the other muscles get that growth hormone.
Mm-hmm.
Get bigger muscles. It's crazy.
More secretion.
Pairing the big muscles with the little muscles, I think, is probably going to be a better hypertrophy way to go about it, even though nobody wants to fucking do that either.
They just want to rip the big ones all the time.
No, I don't know. They want to do whatever the latest guy did. Like, who's the latest guy that just died? Whatever he was doing is probably the cool thing now. Like,
guy. Well, that's what I'm saying. You'll see sessions where they're literally doing hamstrings and quads in the same day. And I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, I used to do it. I'm not going to lie. I did all kinds of dumb shit, but I'm telling you, I think there's a better way where you can manage the stress easier and get better progress. Because as Dave Tate says, you can only do what you can recover from.
Correct.
Do you need to leave in 15 minutes, Nathan?
I don't think. I mean, I think Carly can go run the gym if he's awake. He looks like he's dead. I think I killed him.
Carly's dead.
I think I killed Carly.
But then we got some abs in here. Brought the abs back around. Triceps. Once again, notice these protocols all still have cars and conditioning.
Alex, where did you get a lot of this information from?
Everywhere. I got it from Super Training, from N1, from Westside, from... Fuck, dude, I don't know. I traveled the whole country last year just learning things, like all kinds of stuff.
I just think...
goddamn book.
N1 is one of the, like, I just see a lot of N1. I'm just like, good Lord. This stuff's so good. Like people
Well, yeah,
don't
that's where a lot
understand.
of these stimuli come from, and the
Mm-hmm.
basis of these like templates,
Yep.
for sure,
But
is like their ideas. But
there's
like
definitely ways
exercise and
to.
conditioning, FRC,
Yeah.
like these are all from like training and athlete perspective.
Right.
Like they probably have their clients do some stuff like that too, but they don't talk about that in their program.
I don't know. Yeah, I doubt it.
No, I don't. I talk to Adam all the time. I'm sure they're doing some form of zone 2 cardio.
Well, they're probably not doing FRC though.
They might be onto something similar though. Not saying anything.
I'm not. You can't. You
There
can't divulge.
might be something that they might be onto that's in the same realm.
Can't divulge that information, or they'd have
Because
to
I
break.
don't know.
Have to break your legs.
I wasn't actually given any information. That's the problem.
They'll just break your legs to snap them.
Maybe. But so we go from those into this stuff, post exhaust mechanical damage stuff, like glute bridge into a leg press instead of the other way around. But just going through trying to build more tissue. What do we got now in the next hypertrophy one? You can tell when I get tired of talking about these. Fuck this. This is stupid. Titans Forge 1.2. Once again, guys, these are free in the app. You can go try these out. If they suck. They probably do suck. I don't know. Full length tension. What do you think that includes, Nathan?
Oh, God. Spending a lot of time in the LinkedIn position.
Not any more than anything else, really.
No, thank you.
So with tension, we had mechanical damage was the main driver last round. This round, Nathan, what's mechanotransduction?
I don't really know, actually. That one's kind of confusing to me.
You don't know a mechanotransduction?
Well, it's just creating new fiber, essentially.
It's the conversion of tension into a chemical response to create hypertrophy.
Yeah.
I don't know where that just came out of, but that's the first time I think I've delivered that correctly.
Mr. Science Book.
But yes, mechanotransduction is taking tension and creating hypertrophy from that, basically. So, what do I do here? Really fucking you guys up. It's pretty awesome. Start in the lengthened position. Take 90 seconds rest. It's probably a little short, but I don't want people at the gym forever. So you're really pushing intensity and weight here, and then you're doing it again with leg extensions with another 90 seconds rest. So this is still a superset, but you're allowing sufficient time to make sure you can drive intensity to the highest levels.
Cool. You're only giving me 90 seconds? I quit.
Well, I mean, I like to keep a little bit of a condition.
I'm just saying, good night.
You think if you took the 2 to 3 minutes, that would go any better? It'd probably be worse.
I think it would be better. Just give it.
Then we top it off with the cluster sets. So 3 sets of 4 reps on leg extensions at like probably 200% of whatever you just did, because you're only doing 4 reps, but whatever. And it's 15 seconds rest. So you're just crushing the quads a little bit to make sure.
Yeah. Just driving them into the dirt is what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, and what's also happened is we've gone a lengthened profile, a shortened profile, and then we pick like a nice medium. Profile and just fucking drill just as much tension as we can.
All the tension.
All the tissues. Yeah,
every position.
Yeah. You know what? They're going to be at Swiss this year.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Talking about exercise selection for hypertrophy.
I bet they're going to love that.
Who's going to love that?
People at the Swiss, they'll be like, no, dude, I'm not doing this.
Well, they're trying to get it so they can have like some equipment on stage and shit and have people come up and like feel the differences in squats and different shit like that.
Mm-hmm. It's probably that's a good way to sell it for sure.
Right. Then we got some calves. So any of you people that have calf problems, I guarantee you, I bet if you try this, your calves will. Like this thing sucks. And all you need is a leg press or a seated calf raise if you want. But so, some calves, shoulders, and quads. Once again, only one big muscle group. Then we go over to lats, some upper back. And then, so with these, the tempos, I haven't brought this up yet, but the tempos change. What's something that helps hypertrophy tempo-wise, Nathan?
Spending time in the lengthened position.
What else?
Oh, God. Pausing in the lengthened position? I don't know.
What is the one thing everyone knows is for hypertrophy and is not for athletics?
What? slow tempos? Are you talking about like a slow eccentric? Is that what you're talking
There
about?
you go. Yep.
Spending more
Nice,
time
slow
in
eccentrics.
going down and lowering. I don't know.
Eccentrics will cause what, Nathan? More
Mechanical damage.
mechanical damage.
Yes.
Right? More things like that. So 3110 is going to be not very favorable for you when it comes to something that's already biasing the lengthened position and hopefully a little bit.
You're going to hate your life.
Then we're taking a 3-second eccentric and we're going to pause there, get a good stop in momentum, and drive out of that with quite a bit of force so that we're getting actually a decent amount of weight moving because the concentric is so much weaker than the eccentric usually.
Right? No,
that's fun.
thank you. No, thank you.
On the other one, we're doing a pause in the shortened position. Once again, we're really driving up that stimulus of tension. Right? That's where a lot of these things I base off of time because, like this one, 3-second eccentric, 1 second concentric, and a 2-second pause. Like
have fun.
4 reps. Like good night, ma'am. Have a good day on that.
That's a 6-second rep for anybody keeping track at home. So 4 reps is going to take you 24 seconds to do.
Which is most people's 12 reps.
Correct.
Or so.
Yowza. It's tough.
Right.
That 2-second pause and a shorten just makes your freaking muscle burn.
Oh, I can't wait to do all this hypertrophy stuff when I'm done with the powerlifting meet. It's gonna be so fun. And yes, people, I use these protocols myself. Like can't wait to do these 16 weeks of hypertrophy after this powerlifting.
Just eat your mind out.
Maybe. We'll see.
Gonna have to.
I mean, if I want to grow, yeah.
Yeah. You gotta get it to do what
Maybe
it's gotta
I don't want
do.
to grow. Maybe I just want to fucking just experience the pain, Nathan.
Oh, that'd be God, that'd be miserable. I feel like.
Dude, 10 years of my life, that's all I did was just hang out in the pain cave.
Ugh. No, thank you.
Even got some abs in on this one. TVA crunches with ab gar hammer, and then ab will roll out if you're lucky enough to have one of those. Ooh, glutes for anyone, ladies. I'm sure you would love this glute set here. Like leg press into the hip extension into a glute bridge that you load heavy as fuck. Right. Hamstrings, another good one. Adductors. Really excited to try this because I haven't done any adductor hypertrophy stuff. So that could be fun. Well, that's the second part of the hypertrophy phase. That's, guys, we're only halfway through all the free workouts that I just released. It's only halfway. Like, you should be so fucking jacked by this point. It's not even funny. You're just beating everyone away with a stick. They want to touch you. Right,
yes,
Nathan?
yes, sir.
Or you're just winning golf tournaments on the weekend on accident.
Yeah, just happened to walk into it.
Well, you weren't practicing for it, were you?
No, but I mean, I played a lot of golf in the last year. There's
yeah,
my
but
practice.
Most people don't win things they try to win. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, I mean, true.
So here we're going to do some targeted muscle trauma. Like, we're just, once again, fucking stuff up. We're doing a little bit shorter rest period. So, oh no, these are not supersets. Sorry. This is actually kind of cool. So you start with the unilateral movement, like the pull arounds. You do each side with 45 seconds rest, and like you're taking this to failure for 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do a cable lat row. Same thing, 4 sets of 8 of just trying to get to failure. And then biceps. So once again, glad you said 4 to 6 exercises because there's only 4 on this one.
Is this
so your time spent here is to just crush yourself. Do what?
Oh, I'm just trying to look at your protocol here. Like
single leg. So it goes from unilateral work is what you start on into just more targeted stuff. And then you'll switch. And these are both bilateral. Always throwing in some calves because can't have too many calves.
Everybody wants jacked calves.
But the idea being is like these ones you're going really heavy. Here you go, Nathan.
Oh.
There we go. What is this in? This is
the worst. That's what that is.
6 times after 24 weeks. You get your split squats in. Your unilateral work that you're looking for. You're hoping for so badly.
I'm not a sadistic a-hole like you and just use them in that capacity.
Oh, can you imagine how bad wait till you see the tempo in this thing?
Oh God. 3110 probably. Yeah. God, I hate that. I hate that so much. It just
Well,
makes
once
me
again,
hurt.
biasing. And then we go into leg press after that.
Oh my god. So you're just destroying yourself in the lengthened position.
Oh yeah, this is targeted mechanical trauma, bro. We're taking that mechanical damage up a notch.
God
Went
bless.
back. So see how I went from the mechanical transduction to mechanical damage again. So switching stimuli a little bit. It's good stuff. I'm telling you, I'm excited to try this. I just want to fucking like this one looks like a lot of fun. Because unilateral hypertrophy, I never did enough of. So like, and anyone who's never done iliac stuff, your back will look so much better because you have lats that actually go all the way down to your fucking pelvis instead of disappear. And the progressions on these, I think, gonna be reps on both. I think I actually fucking made it like a big jump. I think you're jumping up. Yeah, the first two sets, you're at 4 reps for each exercise, trying to keep the same weight.
Good night.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So some progressions are super aggressive, like these ones. Some of them not so much, like in the beginning. You could do any of these in any whatever order you want to as well.
I
But
don't
I would
advise you
probably
to
do
start with hypertrophy. I don't advise that. So when he says an inner
in the
order,
group that are starting with it this month,
Oh,
they're on
God.
the mechanical damage one.
Everyone, let's take a minute and say God rest their souls.
I mean, and now we get into some neurological stuff because the next phase is the fun phase that everyone doesn't realize that they like the most until they stop doing it. And they're like, "Can I go back to that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course.
Strength is cool.
It's awesome."
I don't.
But this descending rep, ascending load. This is another N1 protocol thing I learned from them. Once again, I liked what I did with the targeted mechanical damage, introducing the unilateral concept. So, what do you think we do here, Nathan?
Move some weight.
The main goal on these is to add weight as the reps decrease. So we'll go 8, 8, 6, 6. It's pretty relatively easy. Then you get to pause at the top on this one, Nathan. I'm being generous.
What a nice guy.
It's not really. I mean, I think it's a typo, but it's okay. Then leg extensions, we're doing 6 sets, 8, 8, 6, 6, 4, 4, with a 4-second eccentric.
Jeez. Just trying to give him all the weight.
There we go. Yeah. So I think I'll make the split squats a 3, 0, 1, 0 instead of having a pause at the bottom because that's just fucked up. But interior delt press, same thing, 10, 10, 8, 8, 6, 6. So as this is the focus of now we're going to start driving more weight. The intensity is increasing, trying to add weight as we go. These supersets or these are not super.
Did you have descending loads though and descending reps there?
No,
I thought it was descending load, descending rep because it was like going down in weight. Are you sure?
I don't prescribe any weight.
Oh, it says right there. Weight.
That's time.
Where?
Weight is 0.
Okay, I thought the weight was underneath it. I'm with you. I was like, wait a minute, what? It's like you're descending load and weight. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Your app is super neat, by the way. The way it's like set up, it's pretty clean.
Yeah, I like it. It does way more than I realize.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But same thing here. We got main chest movements, press rounds again, chest and triceps. But yeah, that's what I went to check. Did I make these supersets? I don't fucking remember. Yes, they are. Oh, that sucks. Costal fly to tricep extensions. Nice. Oh yeah, so you could once again keep that intensity a little higher because you're getting a little bit longer rest period in between. While hopefully a little conditioning lats. And then these progress once again with adding more weight instead of worrying about the reps. So sticking with the same rep schemes. And the idea here is we're going to start moving into, you take any guesses, Nathan?
What is this, neurological efficiency? Is that what you're in right now?
Well, this is more of a neurological intensity type thing with hypertrophy, yeah. But
yeah, so
then this one we only have to go through one because it's the same fucking thing for 16 weeks.
No more
The strength
unilateral
stuff.
work? Actual like bilateral work?
And this is where we get to find some maxes.
Mm-hmm.
So we start with a strict press paired with some bent over slams. You're finding a 5 rep max. There you're doing an MSM. Thanks, Swede, for the good tips. Doing a seated barbell press. Then you're doing IRM stuff comes back around. So the stuff you learned about in the very beginning is now getting put into this. What would this be considered, Nathan? Is this conjugate? Is this the conjugate protocol?
Looks
almost?
pretty similar to it, yeah.
I mean,
The way it's
there's
structured.
max effort. There's conditioning stuff. There's even a back down stuff. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not though. It's not. It's not conjugate.
Mm-mm.
Once again, cars and cardio. Fucking get that shit in. Then we do a squat. We're doing a box jump, barbell squat. Once again, 5 rep max. Leg press, trying to bias the adductors because we're not doing any wide stance stuff because we're not box squatting with people I don't know. It's a very special thing. You have to graduate to that level. We do a row. So I like to throw in a rowing motion because I think that, again, there's no such thing as too much upper back. So dumbbell rows for the upper back, wide grip pull downs. And these IRM stuff, I don't know if anyone's noticed it yet, but they're actually priming your muscles for the following workout,
Mm-hmm.
which I've been told you shouldn't do.
Really?
But
by who?
Just books I've read says that if you worked out the accessories for the following workouts, main lift, that would probably go poorly. But I don't think they know about IRM protocols.
Yeah, I was about to say that doesn't make much sense, but based on that protocol, but
it's all, we until recently we haven't really had an understanding what all this stuff really does anyways.
right.
Going back to deadlifts, we got a box jump and a trap bar deadlift, trying to save the people because barbell is really hard for everyone.
Yeah.
Possible. Sumo block pulls, because as what Ed Cohen says, sumo should always be an accessory, not a main lift. I thought was an interesting perspective.
That is interesting.
And then more IRM stuff. So what you're doing here is once you establish your 5 rep max, we then go and start using the repetition method. And we're using 89% of that 5 rep max. We're doing 5 sets. This was kind of like Swede inspired by Swede's 5th set, but I don't have any AMRAPs because I don't trust people. Every time I've tried to do it, it just doesn't go well. So
right.
Doing 4 sets of 3 and a set of 6. Make a grand total of 18 reps. Where do we get the 18 reps from, Nathan?
Bro, from this chart.
Which says that for this percentage,
Optimal amount of reps.
Which I did all kinds of fucked up math, guys, to figure out these percentages and how they equate to where they need to be as far as a 1 rep max, so that when I prescribe this volume, you are following Prilipin's chart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't go fucking look on Prilipin's chart for 89% and be like, why the fuck am I doing more than 9 reps? Because 89% of your 5 rep max.
So it's much lower.
89% of 85%.
Right.
Which turns out to be around 75% of 100%. That makes sense to anybody.
So why didn't you put just 75?
Because we didn't establish 5 rep maxes or 1 rep maxes.
Right.
This, my cool little app, will take their 5 rep max, will calculate 89%, will autofill for them, and I don't have to fucking worry about it. Because all the time they're like, why'd you give me this? And I'm like, I didn't give you anything. And I'm like, oh shit, it's set for progressions. And it's like just basing it off their last one. And I'm like, that's
right.
That's not right. But for these people, it's to guide them through it, right? That just goes through automatically. So week 2 changes a little bit. And then from here on out, what we do is we repeat the same fucking thing, adding 5 pounds every time. Right, Nathan?
Yep. That's all you need.
And then you get super impatient and want to find out how much you've added because you added like 50 or 60 pounds over 6 months. You're like, well, I'm doing like my old 1 rep max for multiple reps without even trying. So what can I, and then
I think it was just a band. So it was just like, oh, well, I've never done this through blues. So let's just see what happens.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But you were making great progress because you can steadily add 5 pounds every time to these. Now, these upper back rows, you may not be able to add 5 pounds every time, but be be a nice thought. Anyways, so you do this for, what is it? 5 microcycles. And then on the 6th one, there's a deload that's built in. And then you rinse and repeat this with a little bit of a variation in some of the exercises for the next 8 weeks after that. So for all you people who like to do the same shit over and over, I'm your guy right here. This is it. But that's most of the neurological phase, is doing this setup for 16 weeks, which actually for most people would probably be a decent peaking thing, but I didn't actually set it up to peak.
Right.
But most people don't know how to deload. So if they just followed like I'm saying, man, you could do this for 3 years straight, I think, and make some progress.
Right.
Because after this, you just go back to IRM stuff and conditioning and then
rinse and repeat. Yeah.
Hypertrophy. And
yep.
So that's it, folks. There's 48 weeks. This has been the longest app advertisement ever.
Can people just stay on your actual like neural alchemy stuff? Can they just stay there because you're hitting all those aspects that you talked about earlier when they first started with you?
I don't know. There's not much hypertrophy, but for new people, there will be hypertrophy.
Yeah, but most people don't need a ton of that hypertrophy.
You will outgrow that one eventually. Mm-hmm. Could you theoretically just run the neural alchemy program over and over again? Yes. Yes, you could.
Yeah. I think it would be, I think it's probably the most beneficial.
I think if you went through all of them in the correct order one time, you could then do them in any order you wanted to afterwards.
Right. So if you felt like maybe something needed to be brought up or was lagging.
Correct.
Which is?
That's like block periodization.
No. Stop it. Get out of here.
Conjugate?
It's a different form of conjugate, I guess. Because you're still hitting and touching on the other stuff. Conjugate.
Well, but like in the conditioning and the hypertrophy phases, those are really more like a block type thing.
Yeah. No, I just meant like if you
it's
like.
It's really hard to be like, yeah, we're not getting any neurological stimuli here. Like, bullshit, you're getting coordination on all of them.
Yeah, because those tempos. Right?
So those neural nets on everything are getting more and bigger. And that's the other thing. Like, if you go through, what is that? 4 times 8, what is that? 32 weeks. So 16 weeks of conditioning, 16 weeks of hypertrophy, and then you're trying to lift heavy weights.
It's going to be cool.
It's going to be a lot more successful.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
And they're not even that heavy because it's a 5 rep max. So like we're still not even anywhere near the realms of absolute strength.
No, you're still sub maximal on everything.
No, I made these for like I think these you could probably take any random person and just run them through all of them and they'd be fine.
Yeah.
Which is why they're free in the app when you download it from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store.
Bum, bum, bum.
I also have group training named after these groups that were inspired from these protocols that I have people going through right now that are getting good results. So if you're interested in that, this month I will be doing 5 more people I'll be taking on at a discounted rate. So it will not be full price, but it will not be free either. Like the first group of people got to try it out for.
Yeah. You needed some guinea pigs though.
Lose, you lose. Well, hey man. Times are changing, right?
You needed some guinea pigs.
Now that you know how much money people blow on stupid shit, you're like, all right, guys, you're gonna have to pay like a lot more money. Like this isn't cutting it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how deep some people's pockets run, that for sure.
It's insane, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But
like, I can't believe marathon runners can make $70,000 a race.
Yeah. Hey, there's your training right there. It pays for your training a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Alex. Good. With Alex.
Possibly, yeah. We're working up to those marks.
Just drop the price and move on. There you go. This is what it is.
This is what it is.
But if you think about that, like, right, you just need one client and there you go. You made your year.
Right.
So.
But that's, having big hopes and dreams, Nathan. That's not allowed.
It's
not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to, like, shoot for the moon or anything.
People need to get out of my brain then. They're not going to know what's going on up here.
I want a 2,000-pound total. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but that's the goal.
You got to have stuff you're working towards. If you don't, you're wasting your time.
Right. So, like, I'll maybe stop if I get to 2,000 or die, I guess. No.
2,000 or die? No shot.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'll take it that seriously, but I would like to see how far I can push this.
Agreed.
Well, yeah,
I have a dog that's panicking right now because he's hungry.
I understand the feeling.
He's just in straight meltdown mode. He's like knocking my hand off my mouse, like, "Hey, dickhead,
I see him.
feed me." Can you see him?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Are you hungry? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you hear that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's spazzing out.
Oh, dude, he loves food. He can devour a bowl of food in about 10 seconds. So.
Who doesn't love food?
I don't know. People that hate themselves. I don't know.
Yes. Did we miss anything on this one? Did we talk about enough training stuff?
Yeah, you knocked it out of the park. I just got to chill
I
and
don't
hang
know
out.
about that. It's just fucking almost put me to sleep.
So, do you want to give the precursor for who's coming on next week?
Oh, it's a surprise.
Tune in next week on
All
another
the way
episode
from Buffalo,
of
New York.
Dragon Ball Z. Oh, no, I mean the Irrelevant Podcast.
Yeah. We got a guest coming from Buffalo, though.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
That's what I'll tell you. Oh my god.
He's pumped. He's pumped, man. He knows. He knows.
What's his name? Does he have a name?
Duke. Duke.
Like
You're
the
okay.
shitty basketball team.
Duke, you're okay. Sit. No. Oh boy, it's about to get bad.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
All right, brother. Well,
Really concerned. You better feed him.
I got to get off here and feed this thing before he eats everyone.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Hey,
I'll
dude.
talk to you later.
We're listening to me drone on about nothing. Worst
No, it's-
podcast ever.
No, stop. Can't be as bad as the one. The one is still taking the cake.
Which one?
Where you had like 1 hour of sleep and then tried to come on here and have a podcast.
Well, you know, it's yeah, because you didn't have to talk. That's why this one's good for you.
That's fair. I mean, they're all good for me. I enjoy all of them. I learn too when you go through this stuff. So
If you guys haven't picked up either, it's usually 3 guests and then a break. So I get tired of not talking.
Alex has got to get his moment in the sunlight.
Well, it's just to fucking advertise so you guys will give me money. If you guys give me more money, I'll make way cooler fucking podcasts. So
Or he'll just stop
that-
talking in general. He'll
keep
just
that part and yeah, keep that in mind.
pay him and he'll shut
Or
up.
you can fund me for more education and I will pass it on.
That's fair.
I will be the ether.
He's attacking Arlie now.
That's awesome. Let's not feed the dog.
Oh, all right, man.
Keep the dog unfed.
It's about to be chaos. I got to get out of here.
Yep. See you, man.
See you, dude.